This video is an introduction to community-based participatory action research, also known as CBPAR. Before viewing this video, I recommend that you view my two previous videos, one on community knowledge and the other on authentic demand. These will provide some background on why, even with all its challenges, CBPAR is important. Now, the challenge for doing this research for university-based researchers and students is that you can't just do it. Now, there are two prerequisites to conducting this research. First, it must be connected to a community of interest. An example would be a group of people who have come together around a common interest, such as their neighborhood, ethnicity, or age, for the purpose of taking action about the concern or interest that connects them. Second, the focus of the research must emerge from the situations or conditions facing that community interest. The researcher doesn't get to choose the topic or the timing of the research. He or she plays a supporting role. It is her or his role to guide the participants through a process which ensures that the research meets the social science standards for reliability, validity, and generalizability. It is the participants who define the content and format of the research. There is a PowerPoint presentation that supplements this video and walks you through the steps of conducting a community-based participatory action research project that you should review. To provide you with some context and a clearer picture of how the type of CBPAR is conducted and the impact it can have, I'm going to tell you the story of the study Hunger and the Safety Net in San Diego County. This study emerged from SPIN, which stands for Supportive Parents Information Network, an organization of more than 2,000 families living near or below the federal poverty line. SPIN worked with families in a variety of ways. It was focused on assisting families in reaching economic self-sufficiency. Their work ranged from providing direct help negotiating the welfare system to organizing people in poverty to push for changes in welfare policy. San Diego County has the worst safety net in the nation. SPIN had been challenging the county welfare policies since the welfare reform in 1996. SPIN's leadership saw an alarming amount of hunger among their members. They decided they needed to find new ways to confront the county about their practices, which SPIN saw as oppressive and humiliating. The county's response to SPIN's challenges was either to fix the particular case SPIN was using as an example of the problem, or to paint SPIN as a group of whining welfare recipients who just wanted the county to give money away to whoever asked. When the county did respond to criticism at a program level, it was by increasing their outreach and requiring more classes on nutrition for recipients. This did not address the county's ways of preventing eligible families from receiving those benefits. Frustrated by the county's response and looking for a new way to challenge the county, SPIN decided to do a participatory action research project that focused on how widespread hunger was, what its impact was on families, how people were dealing with it, and what happened when they went to the county for help. In November 2008, 12 leaders from SPIN agreed to conduct the study. They met weekly for more than a year, collected data, interpreted the results, and shared the results with policymakers and others throughout the county. Now, of the 12 women who conducted the study, 10 were on public assistance, and 1 had been on public assistance within the last year. Their educational levels ranged from holding a master's degree to having no high school education. 4 members of the team were monolingual in English, 2 were monolingual in Spanish, and 6 were native Spanish speakers who were bilingual. 3 of the women were African American, 1 was European American, and the other 8 were Mexican American. All were mothers. Now, these women, with no training in research, conducted a highly complex study of how people in deep poverty deal with hunger, its impact on their families, and what happened when they went to the county for help. They spoke to people in 187 households and recorded over 400 hours of interviews. The release of this study in January of 2010 changed the dialogue around food stamps in the county. Because of the quality of the study and its widespread distribution, which was published in all of the local news media in over 100 presentations, the county could no longer dismiss SPIN's concerns as coming from a small group of malcontents. Bringing this study to each member of the Board of Supervisors and meeting with each supervisor individually to discuss the study led to the formation of a county work group to look at the food stamps program and make recommendations for change. SPIN was part of that work group, which produced 69 recommendations. the county was forced to treat SPIN as a legitimate voice and respond meaningfully to their concerns. The study shows that the political nature of participatory action research in two ways. First, the purpose of the study was not to understand the county's food stamp policies, but to change them. It was not designed to give an objective assessment of the policies, but to give a particular perspective on them, that of the recipient. Secondly, it was designed to be a tool for pushing that perspective into the dialogue about policy, bringing the client voice to the decision-making table. It is important to note that this study could not have been done if it were not conducted by people in poverty speaking to people in poverty. There were a number of occasions in the development and implementation of the study that highlighted the importance of the interviewer and the interviewee having a shared experience of poverty. The issue rose early when the team struggled with asking the question if someone had ever dumpster dived to feed their children. Everyone on the team knew someone who fed their family from a dumpster more than once. In fact, members of the group had dumpster dived themselves. They understood that the shame connected to the act meant that most people would not give truthful answers to this question, and some would be insulted by it. On another occasion, a woman being interviewed described the meals she had prepared for her family in the third and fourth week of the month. The interviewer knew from her own personal experience that it wasn't possible to provide those meals on that woman's reported income. Rather than challenging the woman or just accepting her answer, the interviewer shared how hard she found it was to provide a good meal to her family at the end of the month when the food stamps were gone, and said she wondered how the woman had done it. At that point, the woman being interviewed broke down crying and informed the interviewer that she had not eaten in 2 days and that her children were living on ramen noodles. Almost 70% of the households interviewed in this study admitted that they always said yes when they were asked if they had enough food, regardless of whether they did or not. These issues were ones where a traditional researcher would not have been able to get the same quality data if he or she had been performing the research instead of a community member. Thank you for watching.